Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bob Waldron, and in this video we're going to be doing an in-box review of Eduard's Royal Class edition of the Mig-15 170 second scale. Really cool box art, sort of doing a sort of Royal Class sort of edition thing they do. Just on the sides we have all sorts of markings on here, absolutely tons of markings. It shows you all the little cool features that you get with the Royal Edition. Now, just going to show you just really quickly the nice cool little things they do with the Royal Edition. I do like the Royal Editions. I've got like the Spitfire, the 109 and everything, and they add little cool things like these, which is like little plaques basically saying Mig-15, and what you've got here is an actual piece of metal off of a real Mig-15. I do believe this one in particular is off an aircraft from Czechoslovakia. You get like a nice whiskey vodka glass as well with the whole Mig-15 Eduard imprinted on there as well. Looking really cool. Nice little extras you can throw on your shelf, maybe with the finished built products, or you know, you can do what I kind of do sometimes and actually have a drink out of these, which is rather cool. But moving along with this particular kit, what do we get inside? Well, let's open this up. We do get a fair bit. Let's just go through a bit of the fluff. We have a certificate of authenticity here about the actual piece of metal that you get on that plaque, saying it is an actual from the Air Force of Czechoslovakia's People's Army. So nice certificate there. We get loads and loads of sprues. Now we get loads and loads of sprues because we do actually get 4 of the same kit in one. So lots of duplicate sprues in there. We get a markings booklet, which we'll look at later, but it has like loads and loads of markings in there. We've got some nice instructions, little correction sheet just there, and a massive decal sheet. So let's start off with the instructions. Here we have a nice big description of a MiG-15 fighter. We then have basically 3 builds, right, and 3 sets of instructions, same aircraft, but we've got like the Mig-15, I do believe it's the MiG-Biz, and I forgot what the other one was now. It was a UTI or something like that. Yeah, a UTI MiG-15, which is the 2-seater, which just to let you know as well, this kit is basically a brand new tool. It was new tooled in 2015, which is cool, but the UTI is the 2-seat version, which is new tooled for this kit in 2015. So all good for the new tool. Again, with Eduard you do get that lovely nice glossy instructions, and it does describe and sort of show you the different you've got colours here which sort of show exactly where things are being glued, which is a really cool feature that Eduard's done and a lot of manufacturers out there are now adopting. But yes, you've got, it shows you where all your photo etches go in, and it does look like a very simple, easy, basic build with 2 fuselage halves coming together after doing your cockpit. 2 wing sections come together, and then they attach the fuselage half. Quite sort of almost like a World War II build going on. But yeah, you do have, as I say, 3 different sort of builds here. Just move along. Here we go, Mig-15 Biz, which, you know, again, it shows you how this one goes together as well. So it's almost, they're very almost identical, just those few little bits where it sort of changes slightly for the different sort of versions and different weapons loadouts. And then we've got the UTI, again, same sort of format of building this together. The UTI, okay, we have it's a 2-seater version, so it's a little bit different. The canopy is a little bit different, but yeah, it is basically the same. So that's the instructions. At the back you've got the whole sort of canopy mask thing as well, which you want to take note of. Then we have another set of instructions, but these are the colours and markings. Now this is really cool because there is just absolutely loads and loads of markings here. We have all sorts from Russia to the Romanian Air Force to the Polish Air Force, the Egyptian Air Force. We've got, I do believe it's like East Germany as well, Soviet Union. We've got the whole natural metal finish going on here. We've got two-stage camo patterns. You've got Korean. You've got some fancy markings. You've got, you know, you name it, you've got it with this one. We've got a three-stage camo pattern one here from the Egyptian Air Force. Loads and loads to choose from. You know, and you've got the two-seater version, the single-seater. You know, it's all there. Bit at the back here of all the little sort of extras you can buy. So masses upon masses of choice. But you're going to need that because you've basically got 3 kits in one. Little bit of a correction sheet here, just probably on the air intake and exhaust, just there as you can see. Then we have our decals. Let's just get these out. Now normally we get cartographer decals from Eduard, and if we just look down here we can see printed by Cartograph, made in Italy. So we know these are top-notch decals. They're like the best in the world. You can't really grumble at them at all. They work well with micro salt and set. They are a bit on the glossy side, but they are nicely in registry, good colourful decals, and loads of beautiful markings for all sorts of aircraft that you saw in the that little booklet for all the different paint schemes. Hopefully you're seeing there looking good. We do get the decals for our instrument display panels, which is another good thing by Eduard that they always seem to do, is to actually go off and give you the option of having your instrument display panel just paint it, or you can put a decal on it, or you can put photo etch on it. You know, they are really good in that sense. So let's take a look now at some plastic. Now I've got a load of plastic in the box, which just say it's like everything's like ×4, but really it kind of comes down to these 3 plastic sprues, right? Because this is only 1/72 scale. Let's have a look at the fuselage section first. Let's bring you in nice and close on this. Now hopefully what you've seen is we've got that really good modern Eduard type surface in here. We've got really cool recessed panel lines, and we've also got that really tiny gorgeous rivet work that they've got all over their models, which looks really cool, really fancy, and you know, it really does set off your model when they've got all that rivet work on there. You know, it's sort of looking into scale, you know, and the rivet work is really a light bit of rivet work, so it doesn't take a wash massively that it stands out too much, but it's just there enough to take a wash that it just gives you that lovely detail. And hopefully you can see there we've got 2 fuselage halves going on there. On the inside there's not really any detail, but the detail isn't there for the inside because it's sort of like you build a cockpit and then you bring the 2 fuselage halves onto the cockpit. Got a couple of fuel tanks and everything on that sprue. We've got our wing section here, which you can probably see the surface detail a little bit more better with the flatter wing sections. Hopefully you're seeing that rivet work and the recessed panel line work looking absolutely gorgeous, and you know, almost looking a bit like that Spitfire Mark 9 that Eduard does, but scaled down to 1/72 scale. So there we go, there's the surface detail, you know, top marks there for that. Moving along to our last sprue, which is all our little bits and bobs, which I do believe this sprue is for the single seater. No, sorry, not the 2-seater. The single seater is a little bit different, but you know, you'll get the idea from just seeing this one. What we've got is these kits are designed to take photo etch, because we've got all these flat panels just on here. That is designed to take the photo etch, so it saves you sort of sanding down all those sort of bits of detail to then put the photo etch in. So you've kind of got to put photo etch in. Moving along, we've got some wheel detail here, some hub caps and stuff. Very finely detailed for 1/72 scale. Got some tyres here as well, and some I do believe that's the front landing gear and wheel all attached together. Very sort of fine. Not really seeing any flash or any ejector pin marks in the wrong place. We have an instrument display panel just here, and as you can see, without photo etch, that is looking, you know, rather detailed, and you could paint that up quite nicely. You do also have the option of instrument display panel with detail on it or without detail on it, so you can put the photo etch on, which is an option there. And then we've also got sort of like the bottom of the cockpit area. We've got our ejector seats just here as well. Hopefully you can see, you know, pretty well detailed. I mean, for 1/72 scale, this is a well detailed kit. So that's the plastic. Apart from what we have here is the clear plastic. Right, so let's have a look at this, which you get a lot of them. Right, and remember there is a two-seater canopy as well. But hopefully what you're seeing is looking very crystal clear. We've got no cobweb effects or scratches or cracks or anything like that. Looking very clear, very detailed like the rest of the kit. And hopefully you'll agree, you know, there's no problems going on with the canopy. As I say, there is 3 of these, which is, I do believe, Sprue A. There's 3 of them, and then there is a bit of a bigger one, which is our two-seater canopy just in there. But it's all the same, all looking good. Next up, which I do believe is the last bit of this kit, is the aftermarket parts, because being a raw class, you not only get all those glasses and ornaments and stuff, but you get a bunch of photo etch and some resin and that kind of stuff. So let's take a look. You do get 4 lots of photo etch. You get 3 lots for, you know, your F-15 and it's not F-15, your Mig-15 for the, I do believe it's the Biz and the normal F-15, but then you also get one for the actual two-seater version, the UTI. And hopefully you can see, you know, it's a typical you know, Eduard type photo etch, you know, well detailed. You know, you can't go wrong. You know, Eduard is like, you know, the best at doing photo etch, so you know, no problems there. But that's nice, and it's all just cockpit detail really. We do have some canopy masks, which you can't really see on camera until you actually get them out, but they look like they're cut quite nicely. Then we have 2 lots of resin here, which I will just get out the bag. If I can get it back, let's get one of these out. We've got a fuel tank here, which is well detailed. I'm seeing a lot of nice recessed rivets going on in there, and hopefully that will fit nicely to the kit, so one of your aircraft can have that resin. And then we have 2 ejector seats, which I'm kind of guessing is probably for the UTI version. But there you go, a really nice tiny 1/72 scale ejector seat, and there's the launch rails just to go beyond that as well. So you know, really cool to, well, I mean, let's face it, for 1/72 scale to have I am actually really impressed with the detail for a 1/72 scale kit. This kit, to kind of summarise, you know, it's typical Eduard, you know, fantastic surface detail. If it's Eduard, it should fit really well. You know, you shouldn't have any problems with ejector pin marks or flash or any real problems. It should be absolutely lovely to build together. The only thing I'm sort of with this kit is you've got 4 kits in there, which in all honesty, I mean, are you going to build all 4 of them? Could they have made this kit cheaper and maybe just put 2 kits in here or something? I know with the raw classes they put about 2 kits in there so you can build 2 of them, which is cool. You know, I mean, sometimes I'll build, you know, maybe more than one, but 4, I don't know. That's the only sort of criticism I got against it. But then again, I mean, if you're a big Mig-15 fan, you'd probably go off and build them all. And it is only 1/72 scale, so they shouldn't take that long to build. But that's the only criticism really. The price seems actually quite fair, because I mean, it's a fantastic kit and you get all these little goodies in there. If you could pick it up cheaper, fantastic. And I suppose at the end of the day, I mean, you could always maybe, you know, if you don't build all 4 of them, you could throw them on eBay or something, or give one to your mate or something to build, or something like that. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that, and a big thumbs up and a recommendation for the Mig-15 by Eduard 1/72 scale. So until next time, this is Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron, and I hope you've enjoyed.